It's more likely to get a steak than you get something vegan, personally. This is going to sound really like twatty, but it's a circle of life, I suppose. We'll say that I love the taste of meat. There's always that barrier between what's food and what's like animal, if that makes sense. Whereas a chicken's always been seen as you just eat it, you know? Like my granddad owns a farm. We've always been brought up around like eating chicken.
Almost their life ending murder for our game.
I love my chicken too much.
We take the only thing they have. You've got to flip that alpha crap on its head because it's keeping animals in slaughterhouses. Okay, where's your position on it?
I'm a bit both.
Bit of both.
I mean, some of the treatment's a bit wrong, to be fair. The way that they treat animals and that kind of thing, the enclosed circumstances. But generally speaking, I've always been growing up around eating meat anyway. It's just something that I've been brought up on. And but I think because it's a case of learning that balance between the two, but learning where it's wrong and learning where it's actually all right to eat meat, if that makes sense.
Okay, so let's start with where it's all right to eat meat.
Well, like I say, I mean, if like you're on, you know, say you go out with your mates or that kind of thing, it's more likely to get a steak than you get something vegan, personally, anyway.
But what makes that all right about it? Why is it okay to do it with your mates?
It's just, this is going to sound really like twatty, but it's just a circle of life, I suppose. It's always been, chicken is food. That's always been. You can see, you know, you guys at the gym, I can imagine protein, you know, as much as I would. I've
been brought up in exactly the same way you have. What changed for me is I saw animals in slaughterhouses and I couldn't justify it. You realise that animals are in slaughterhouses solely for taste pleasure. I didn't think that my taste was worth more than an animal's life. Would you think that your taste is worth more than the animal's life?
Potentially not. I mean, it depends. I've never really seen that. I've never been to a slaughterhouse, so I can't really comment much on it. But from how you're describing it, then yeah, it could be that the animal's life does weigh up to be more. However, I still will say that I love the taste of meat. Like I've tried vegan burgers and vegan chicken and everything like that, but I've never really found a substitute that I've actually enjoyed. I don't know whether that is because of taste or whether because it's...
That's still coming down to your taste being worth more than life though, right? Because even if, let's say vegan food was 60% worse eating animals' bodies, it still wouldn't be ethical or it still wouldn't be moral to eat animals just because they tasted better.
I mean, I agree with that. Say, trying to find that balance maybe, finding something that is taste equivalent. But an animal's life is quite important. But I think there's always that barrier between what's food and what's like animal, if that makes sense. You want to eat horses, but something more like lamb or that kind of thing.
So that's called speciesism.
Yeah.
It's the same, like it's an ism, like racism. So we're just conditioned, but it's actually speciesist because you're saying it's okay to oppress one, but not the other. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. But then surely it's like going back to the whole evolutionary kind of thing as to how chickens have always been brought up as being meat. That's like you know it.
Because they've been brought into being meat, it's okay to express them as meat or have them as meat. I'll give you an analogy to see why that falls apart.
Yeah.
If I bred dogs for dog fighting, would that be ethical or moral?
No, not at all.
Why not?
That's not how they're meant to be. Dogs are seen as a pet. You're meant to have a dog as a pet.
Not to everyone.
Maybe not to
Some
everyone.
people eat dogs.
Yeah.
We breed animals into existence to eat them for taste pleasure, for sensory pleasure. If I bred dogs into existence to dog fight for a sensory pleasure, like a visual pleasure, they're still both an injustice, right? But one would probably take a moral stance on it and say no, but the other, because you're conditioned to doing it, we sort of try and find a justification to continue to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree. I see what your point is, to be honest with you. Like I say, you know, dogs have always been seen as a pet, a family pet, as someone that you care for, look after, that kind of thing. Whereas a chicken's always been seen as just eat it, you know? Like my granddad owns a farm, always been brought up around like eating chicken and everything like that.
What animals are on his farm?
Oh, so he's got, we used to have like chickens, ducks, quails. It wasn't like massive thing, it was more like poultry more than anything.
Like a chicken farm?
Yeah.
Not eggs, like for me?
We got eggs.
Okay, so was it an egg farm or a meat farm?
Or eggs to start with.
It was an egg farm.
Yeah. But chicken was getting to a stage where I was like, right, okay, we'll eat it, then it would be.
Do you know the average slaughter age of egg-laying hens?
No.
It's around 18 months old.
18 months.
Yeah, because egg production slows down.
Right, yeah.
So do you think that that's an ethical or moral thing to do to chickens?
I suppose not. The way that you're saying it, like obviously making it out to be 18 months,
I'm not making it out like that.
Well, yeah. But putting it that way, it puts it across as well.
Let's say like an average chicken's life, say 7 years.
Yeah.
Let's say that we let them live to say 6.5 years.
Yeah.
And then I slaughtered them. Would that be okay?
I mean, I don't want to say maybe, but it would be better, I suppose, because that way then you let it to live its life and then killed it. If that makes
Do you
sense.
not think it would be best if we just let them live their life completely? Like, why must their life end in murder for our gain?
Yeah, I do get that. I
See
do.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
So what would stop you going vegan?
I, I love my chicken too much. I think it's just the taste.
So
That is what it is.
But when you come back to justifying like your taste pleasure is worth more than a chicken's life.
Uh,
Think about this: like, what do animals have in this world? What's the one thing they have?
not much, really.
They have their life, right?
Well, yeah.
And we take it from them.
Yeah.
We take the only thing they have. The reason why we take it is because we say we like the taste of their body.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were the victim. You had nothing in this world but your life, and someone was going to take it from you because they wanted to taste your body.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel like when you frame it like that? For me, it makes you feel quite emotional.
Yeah, it does. It makes me feel a bit like you are taking their life, and you're putting them in a position where that's all they're living for in a way.
Like they're having a subjective experience, right? So for them, their life's everything.
Yeah. Of course.
So do you agree as well that animals are sentient?
I suppose in their own way, not a way that humans can understand, but definitely in their own little way.
Yeah, their own ways that they can express their fear, like towards like a dog that's been abused with a stick, it'll cower. It'll remember that it's been abused. So it has the ability to feel pain and to suffer.
Yeah.
If they express pain and joy and fear like we do, how do we justify putting them in slaughterhouses?
It wouldn't be justified, really. There's certain ways that maybe it could be justified if it was moral anyway, but
Wait, what way could we justify it?
I don't know. I guess it's just a case of trying different ways, to be honest. I couldn't think of any.
Do you think we try so hard to try and justify killing animals when we could just actually say, yeah, let's leave them alone?
I think because there's more opinions about people being like meat eaters than there isn't. I know more people that would turn around and say to you, oh yeah, I enjoy eating a chicken or a steak, opposed to going vegan.
Just because more people do it, like, again, like, what if everyone was racist? Would you be racist?
Well, no.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not judging you, bro. I'm just,
No, I know.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just talking to you
I get what
because
you're trying to say.
I wish someone spoke to me like this years ago.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to come across Joey Carbstrong on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he made us vegan by literally just showing us the truth. When you're educated and when you're showing the truth, you then can make the decision that sits with your ethics. If your ethics and your morals are you're against animal abuse and you're against animals being exploited and murdered for something like taste,
Yeah.
then vegan is the baseline. It's the first thing we can do.
So how, like, obviously you go to the gym. How do you manage that, being a vegan?
Super easy, mate. It's so easy. But I'll explain to you in a minute.
Yeah.
The major thing is a how and a why to veganism.
Right.
But when you look at why I should be vegan, it's because any animal being exploited, murdered, and killed from my taste
Yeah.
is wrong. So that's why I'm vegan. And the whole time I focus on that, everything else falls into place. So how was I going to get my protein? How was I going to be a bodybuilder?
Yeah.
Always comes second, and then you always work that out. So you Google it, you look on YouTube, vegan bodybuilders, vegan strength athletes. There's so many now.
Yeah.
So you just find out what you're going to eat now as a vegan to give you the nutrients. Your body needs nutrients, not ingredients.
Yeah.
You know? And as long as you can get the nutrients from plants, which you can, it's a kind of option. Like, why wouldn't we choose it?
Yeah, no, I do understand.
See what I'm saying? Like, nothing for me has changed.
No.
Nothing. I still have burgers and chips, still have pizza and chips, I have ice cream, I have...
But it's vegan.
Let's get a vegan one.
Yeah.
And then no animals are being put through a murder house for my benefit. Same as like social pressure. Like one of the things you said was, oh, if I go out with my mates, I'm more likely to order a steak.
Yeah.
Probably because, and tell me if I'm wrong, but is it like an alpha thing, like a lads thing? Like
Maybe.
Like,
Maybe
see what
a
I
little
mean?
bit, yeah.
See, for me, I think that it's more alpha and more strong to stand in front of a victim. The strong protect the weak.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a strong thing for someone to do, to stand up in that environment and say, guys, like, there's a victim here. I'll put them behind me, I'll stand in front of them.
Yeah.
We got to flip that alpha crap on its head, because it's keeping animals in slaughterhouses, you know, just for our egos and taste pleasures.
Yeah.
Animals are going into gas chambers. Do you know they gas pigs?
Really?
They put pigs in gas chambers, CO2 gas.
Yeah.
Chickens go into gas chambers. It's brutal.
Crazy.
No one has ever been able to justify it because it can't be justified.
Has that always been the process? Has that always been the way?
No, there's loads of different ways. Like it's like electrocute and stun pigs. Put chickens in shackles and their heads go through like an electric bath.
Yeah.
So there's loads of different ways. But because they just don't care, it's just how many animals can I kill, how fast? Because it's a profit.
Yeah.
I would ask anybody: is there a right way to take someone's life
Best.
that doesn't want to die?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe obviously you get like the pills and that people can take, can't you? Like the people that get assisted suicides and that kind of thing, they take a pill for it. Maybe something like that. I mean, I know that sounds wrong.
I'll put it this way, right? Let's say, for example, the animals who we're going to kill, they don't know they're going to be killed.
Yeah.
They've had a fantastic life. There's going to be no pain involved. They're not going to see anybody coming. All of a sudden, they're going to be stood there 1 minute, and they're going to be dead the next, and they won't suffer, won't feel pain at all.
Yeah.
Is that still moral or ethical?
I mean, in a way, I guess it's just like, well, like you say, you're straight to the point. You've killed them straight away, so they don't know much
They don't
about
know anything,
it.
they don't feel anything, they don't know anything, they don't suffer whatsoever. Is it
Yeah.
ethical? Is it moral to do that to them?
Perhaps, I mean, I don't want to say perhaps, but in a way, yes.
What about if
Really?
it happened to you?
Yes.
Is it ethical or moral? Is it okay to do it?
Not to a human. It's a superior kind of thing to animals and that. Whereas we've always seen animals as being of less importance, I suppose.
That's like the might make rights theory. Like just because we
Yeah.
have the ability to do it, just because we're stronger or we're superior, doesn't mean like we should abuse everyone below us.
No.
You know, I would look at it as in actually, if you are superior, if you are stronger, then you have the job of looking after everyone below you and make sure they're okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like a care process, I suppose.
So
Yeah.
going back to that, just turning the lights off, it's not right. It'd still be unethical to end someone's life.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't like it done to us.
No.
So when we try and justify a good way to slaughter an animal, even if we put the most, like that sort of fictional scenario where they feel nothing, know nothing, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
So there is no right way to kill someone who doesn't want to die.
No. Yeah, because, like you say, you're still taking away the life, aren't you, at the end of the day, and it's still...
And it's the only thing they have.
Yeah.
They have one thing. They trust us. We abuse their trust and we take the one thing they have. And then we do it because we say we like the taste of their bodies.
Yeah.
It's messed up, right?
A bit wrong. Yeah, totally. I do agree. Yeah.
So the only option from that point, from that standpoint, the only thing when you can align that ethics and your morals and your actions is being a vegan.
Yeah.
That's what a vegan is. Someone
Yeah.
who doesn't exploit animals, don't pay for animals to be suffering in slaughterhouses.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Do you feel differently on it now since talking to me about
yeah,
it?
a little bit. There's always been that whole case of trying to read into it and look at more into it and whether it's actually a benefit or a downfall. Not a downfall, but you know what I'm trying to say, like whether I'm actually going to lose anything by becoming one. But I don't know, it's always, I suppose it's a case of that whole stigma behind it a little bit. Like vegans always seen as not hated, but you know, people are like, oh, he's vegan and that.
The reason being is vegans make people feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
because they're standing up for a victim that people are oppressing,
Yeah.
and it's uncomfortable to say to someone, you're oppressing an animal if you're not vegan.
Yeah.
It makes people feel uncomfortable hearing it. But you should never apologise for telling someone the truth.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're just telling them the truth.
Yeah.
You know, it is the truth. It's what's happening. Being vegan, you got nothing to lose, and for the animals, they have everything to gain.
Yeah.
It's it's a really big thing for them. And I think as humans, we owe it to animals to educate ourselves and then action on that education and go vegan.
Yeah.
Do you want me to show you the pigs and gas chambers?
Yeah, you
quickly?
can do.
Yeah. They're lowering them down into CO2. You see they put 3 or 4 like pigs into this stun crate
Yeah.
because it's more efficient. They can like get more pigs killed faster. This CO2 gas literally burns them from the inside out. They're literally fighting for every last breath in that gas chamber.
Jeez.
Or there's a process called knock-in where they just slam them on the floor if they're not growing fast enough. They hit them with crowbars and pickaxes. When they're born, they cut their teeth off and they cut their tails off.
Jesus.
Does that look humane? Does it look ethical?
No.
Does it look justifiable?
Not when you put it that way.
I can't justify it.
I guess because I've never really seen it in a different way. I've never seen it like...
I appreciate your honesty, mate. If people aspire to be vegan like it's something really difficult, it's actually the easiest thing you'll ever do.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
All right, mate, let me give you a card. Have you got a card? If you're against any of that stuff, mate, like veganism's the only way forwards.
Yeah.
Take a card, mate.
Well, yeah.
Nice chatting to you, bro.
Yeah, and you.
My name's Steve.
Brandon,
Nice to meet you, Brandon, mate. Cool. Next time you're in a supermarket, mate, just remember that that's what you're paying for. if you're not vegan.
100%. Thank you.
Cool. All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Have a good day, mate.
You too.
See you later on.
See you later.